Welcome to Fun with Fermentation, starring Natalie Brennan,
Calvin Robertshaw,
and Sabrina Van Ness.
We'll be making pizza dough through the process of alcoholic fermentation.
The first step to making pizza dough is to make sure you have all the right ingredients. The most important ingredient will be the 1 package of active dry yeast.
Make sure that the expiration date has not expired. That is our #1 rule here at Fun with Fermentation. And we're good to go.
You will also need 2.5 cups of bread flour, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup of warm water.
Many people wonder what makes the dough or bread rise, and it is caused by alcoholic fermentation in the yeast.
Yeast begins fermentation by taking the sugars in the flour and dough and breaking them down to form alcohol.
But alcohol is not the only product of alcoholic fermentation. The yeast also forms carbon dioxide and energy as a product of fermentation.
Alcoholic fermentation produces energy in the form of NAD+, which is an electron carrier and is used for long-term energy storage.
The carbon dioxide forms bubbles in the bread, which makes it fluffy and rise up. The alcohol provides a little bit of flavor and then is cooked off when the bread is baked, as well as the remaining yeast molecules that were not killed by the alcohol concentration.
Can we start cooking yet?
One last thing, make sure that you preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we can start. In a medium bowl, dissolve yeast and sugar in warm water. Measure out the sugar. The sugar. We need the sugar.
No?
Got the sugar.
Let stand until creamy.
10 minutes later.
Next, stir in 2.5 cups of flour. 1. Uh-oh. 1.5. 2. And 2.5. All set.
Now comes the teaspoon of salt and the 2 tablespoons of oil.
1 and 2.
Now it's time to beat it. Let your dough rest for 5 minutes. Next, turn dough onto a lightly floured surface and pat or roll into a round ball. Lucky for us here at Food with Fermentation, one of our staff members is family member of both Cosmos and Ferraro's, a pro pizza maker.
Transfer the crust to a lightly greased pan or baker's peel dusted with cornmeal.
See, Calvin, that hard.
I didn't have a knife. Oh.
Next, it is time to put the desired toppings on your pizza. Today, we're keeping it classic with marinara sauce and mozzarella. Spread the sauce around.
Cover the dough evenly.
Next, sprinkle the cheese.
I think we're going to need a little bit more sauce there, Natalie.
You insist.
Okay, that's good. Today we're using mozzarella cheese.
can't wait to get this in the oven.
Be careful when putting the pizza in the oven because it's very hot.
Natalie can't wait for her pizza.
Good. Oh my god.
It's done! That's it this week for Fun with Fermentation.
Stay tuned for next week when we make yogurt using lactic acid fermentation.